what do you think, sir, is the right kind of presentation in court? What's the style, good style of presentation,
In a case where it is dead against you by virtue of a law of precedent, you see there is a judgment of the Supreme Court dead against you. We will not wait for your senior, we will dispose it off, but we will write the name of your senior. So I was sitting there for my case, and then Justice Govindvat observed, "Hey, Mr. Hegde, has your client engaged a barber or a lawyer?
Okay.
You are shaving his case."
So what are the qualities that you feel, sir, are very essential in a judge, that should be there in a judge? So generally people say that you will be a good advocate if you are a great orator. Like I remember that when I was young, I used to talk quite a bit. So they would say, oh, you'll become a very great advocate, a lawyer. But when I came to profession, I realized that court really is not the courtroom drama that we see either in serials and movies and all that.
That's true.
And one of the styles of presentation that I was truly impressed is the style of presentation that you have been following. Soft, firm, and never give up attitude. And keep telling the same thing in the same tone, but yet firm, and of course you should have the best of knowledge, only then it will come up. So what do you think, sir, is the right kind of presentation in court? What's the style, good style of presentation, Of course, we know that you've had a robust profession, and with your 50 years of experience that you have, you must have seen all kinds of lawyers.
And judges too.
So we'll come to the judges little later. So just yes. Right now, how would you say, for a person who is now becoming an aspiring advocate, what would you say is a good style of presentation in court?
See, the presentation is a second thing. First thing is the preparation.
Ah, that's very good. Okay.
One has to prepare as to how to present.
I see.
And preparation, I always say and repeat at several places, is you must know your ABCD very well.
Oh,
you are aware of that.
What is that, sir?
A stands for assimilation of facts.
Okay.
Assess and analyze.
Ah, very good. Yeah. Okay.
B stands for be bold and brave, but not aggressive.
I see. Okay.
C stands for your communicative skills. You should know how to talk, convince the others, and especially strike the same wavelength as that of the judge, so that it becomes very easy for you to communicate what is in your mind. The third one, D, as you know, discipline, devotion and dedication. See, if you know your ABCD well in the profession.
For advocacy profession.
Yes, prepare well first and then present. See, there also you have a choice. See, there are good aspects of your case, there are bad aspects of your case.
Which you know, which
yes,
are good
which
and
you
bad.
know.
So how do you, sir, then how do you kind of cover
as you
that
grow,
up?
In the beginning, of course, every young lawyer, I won't find fault with him or her, believes in presenting the best.
And not, have in their case.
Yes, and not saying something which is against them.
Obviously, yes.
In the beginning. But as you grow, you must develop and cultivate a habit. There is what is called court craft.
Okay.
That is, there are certain authoritative pronouncements which may be against you or seemingly against you. I'll come to that. Seemingly against you is precedents which have no relevance to the facts of your case.
I see.
They're seemingly against you, but they are really not. Because the question that is considered there is not different from
that's
this.
how you can distinguish. Even if you have a weak case,
yes,
you can distinguish from the existing. Is that
yes.
what you're saying? Okay.
That is one aspect of the matter. You see, and respect for the law of precedent. The second one, if there are judgments against you, this is a court craft which I have learned, before your opponent starts quoting all that and trying to impress the judge, you, after completion of your argument, say, perhaps these are the judgments or authoritative pronouncements which may be quoted against me, so that put it in the mind of the judge and try to distinguish, so that he will not be as appreciative or receptive
when the other side will rely upon
starts.
Okay.
So this is a kind of a court craft that you develop.
Okay.
But there is no suppression of facts, there is no suppression of precedents. You have to admit that. It may go against your client at times. It's not that you are going to score any point in your profession. That only shows your character. That is most important.
For an advocate.
Yes, your reputation and character is most important. It takes years to build, takes few minutes to lose. That is most important. That is how you see I developed, as you very rightly said. I have always been polite yet firm. And then most of the time the statements I have made on facts, I must tell you with a certain amount of pride, that majority of the judges did not bother to verify whether what I am saying is right or wrong.
Yes,
Because
so
they had a
confidence.
belief. They had a belief
Building
and
of
confidence
yes.
in me that I am not going to mislead the court. And there are also, because I developed this kind of a reputation, there are times when the judges used to call me, even when the other cases are going on, and say that this is the point involved, can you do some research and assist us?
So that,
Though not in the characteristics of a Namaikas, but still they have done it.
You remember, sir, that adoption matter one?
Yes.
Where
Justice Kumar.
you had that matter, and then the judge, I think, was fully against, saying that that proposition cannot be accepted.
Yes.
And then you
That is
you were very
regarding-
patient and took the judge along to say that
Yes.
let's look
Finally,
into
yes.
it, and then let's hear more, and then you came out. So would you like to share that,
Yes,
sir, that
I
experience?
would be very happy to share that. It was a case before Justice N. Kumar. It was an adoption of a person who is in his mid-40s.
Okay.
Then Justice Kumar said, under the Adoption Act, Hindu Maintenance and Adoption, he should be a minor.
Okay.
Your client is a major, that too mid-40s. I don't accept this adoption. Without looking into the evidence, he said that. I told him, my lord, there is an exception. See, this is one of the very few acts which gives precedence to a kind of a, what do you call, a system in the community. You know, that gets precedence over the law. The exception there in that particular section is, if there is a, you know, in a community, if there is a precedence, or if they have a kind of a habit
Of adopting
older generation also,
Okay.
that gets precedence.
I see. Okay.
Then he told me, I don't believe it, I'll strike down. Then I told the judge, you are hearing a first appeal.
And
You have no power to strike down the validity or otherwise decide and strike down a particular provision of law. Then he said, I'm going to dismiss your case. I said, no. Your lordship is not fully equipped to hear my case.
Okay.
Please adjourn it to next week. I will give you several judgments. You also go through and then hear me again, once again.
Okay.
So I gave him a couple of precedents, mostly arising from Punjab and some of the North Indian states, where a classic case of a 90-year-old man adopting a 60-year-old man
Okay.
in Punjab, and Supreme Court had upheld it. A few judgments like that I gave it to him. He took them and said, I will hear you tomorrow. He read and came. As soon as I stood up, what kind of a stay you have asked, and he gave me an interim order. And the best part I must tell you about that learned judge is, as I finished the case and I was trying to get out of the court hall, he called me again, Mr. D.L. and Rao, come here. I went there. Yesterday I was wrong. I am sorry. I was a little unhappy with you, and please excuse me for what I said. So look at the greatness of the man.
Yeah.
See, that we will talk about when we come to judges.
So that we can do it right now.
Yes.
Because, sir, of course, you have always said that the judges of your time
Yes.
were more respectful to the bar, and then you always said that bar and the bench together is a judiciary, which is the third
Yeah, the two
arm.
wheels of a chariot
Yeah,
and
are two wheels of a chariot, and both need to go simultaneously together. There has to be mutual respect between the bar and the bench. So nowadays what is happening is that we feel that way, that the youngsters are also not showing so much of respect to the court, and then the judges also get annoyed probably with it, and then some comments are given to the judge. What do you think is a best behavior for both judges and lawyers, sir, when things go fine and the case is going fine, and when your case is accepted by the judge, then you see it's all fine. But when the judge distrusts or the advocate discourages, or the advocate is misrepresenting, and things don't go fine, there will be a unhappy situation in the court. So what's the best way for both the sons? What is the best behavior, sir? What should they do?
See, since this is a topic which has several aspects, one of them is every judge should realize one day he was standing in that position.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's very, very important. Second,
so unless you don't have that empathy in you,
the realization
of
yes,
correct.
You have come from there. You have not come from heaven to sit on the chair all of a sudden. See, you have grown yourself in the profession. In the beginning of your career, you have fumbled. Unless you are extraordinarily brilliant and day one you start arguing. As you asked me once earlier, mere oratory skill is not enough.
Yes, correct.
You have heard empty vessels
make more noise.
Correct. And ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಗಾದೆ ಇದೆ, ತುಂಬಿದ ಕೊಡ ತುಳುಕಲ್ಲ.
Correct, yeah.
ಆ ಥರ ಇರಬೇಕು. And then secondly, encourage the youngsters. Youngsters who have come from various backgrounds, from a rich family, middle class family, from a rural background.
Correct.
They will start their practice. If you discourage and shout at them in the initial stages, they would run away from the profession. One classic example I'll give you, I don't mind going on air to say this.
Please, sir.
Justice Subhash Adi.
Okay. Yes. He became a Lokayukta also after that. Yes.
He retired judge.
Yes, sir. Yes, and good friend of also yours,
Yes.
I think.
He was a junior of a doyen of the bar, S.C. Javadi, Sri S.C. Javadi.
Okay.
Then he came out, started his practice. Then several cases he couldn't handle. He lost perhaps a few. One fine day he took a decision that he will wind up and go back to his place.
Okay.
Instead of practicing in High Court. It so happened that he met my father. He went and told him, Sir, ತಮ್ಮನ್ನು ನಾನು ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಸಲ ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಬಟ್ ನಾನು ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಷ್ಟ ಬಿದ್ದರೂ ಮುಂದೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಾವು ಊರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಅಡ್ವೈಸ್ ಮೀ ವಾಟ್ ಐ ಶುಡ್ ಡೂ. So my father called him, made him sit next to him, said, don't get disheartened. Even I was like that in Ballari.
Okay.
I was under my grandfather. So I was handling separately also my own cases. Don't get disheartened, don't get discouraged. As I see, you are highly dedicated. You have a bright future. Mark my words. Don't go back.
Okay.
If you have any problem at any time in future on any question of law or facts, even how to argue a matter, come to me, I will help you. Even this day, Justice Adi remembers that. What I am trying to tell you is, it's not only judges, it's the duty, bounden duty of seniors to encourage their juniors to see that they are put in a proper path. So a judge must realize this. Secondly, he should encourage them because they should not run away from the profession. And third, you must advise them. You have to have an advisory capacity. As you said, there should be an element of feminine quality in every man.
Yeah.
There should be an element of parental attitude in every judge.
In every judge.
Towards youngsters at least.
Oh, that's very well said. Okay.
Towards youngsters at least. You must tell them, look here my friend, you are trying to suppress certain facts. You are trying to suppress some of the precedents which are against you. I do not expect you to quote them in your initial stages. But when the judge asks, you must be thorough. You can't be just standing and glaring. And you are not a lawyer except for a few months asking for only adjournments and passovers. You must be thorough with every case in your office. If there are 10 cases, your senior for that day may be ready in 5. But you must study all the 10.
Yes. Oh.
See,
Or at
sometimes-
least be fully prepared in the 5 where the
Yes,
senior is
to
not ready.
assist.
So that
Yes.
if the senior is not able to come,
Yeah,
you get
yes.
an opportunity to
handle.
yes.
As you told me, earlier judges, when I started practice, they used to always say, tell me also, as one of the fortunate few, you see, when you argue, please prepare yourself. If your senior is not there, don't ask for a passover.
Yeah, okay.
You start your arguments.
Ah.
The reason being, those days litigation was less, number of less judges and lawyers. There's plenty of time. Unlike today, running around and everybody is in a great hurry, etc. So they used to tell us, you read, and if you have any difficulty, we will adjourn it. You will wait for your senior to come. But if we agree with you and we succeed, you succeed, we will put your name, you argued, in the judgment.
Ah, okay.
In a case where it is dead against you by virtue of a law of precedent, you see there is a judgment of the Supreme Court dead against you. We will not wait for your senior, we will dispose it off, but we will write the name of your senior as if he has argued.
Yeah, and lost
That
the
is a
case.
great encouragement to
To a
any
youngster.
junior. That's how they used to encourage us, they used to tell us, and at the same time, they used to even shout at us. I still remember an incident where Justice Govind Bhatt told Justice Santosh Hegde once in the court, first court, he was not ready in that matter.
As in, Justice Santosh Hegde was an advocate
Yes,
before Justice
practicing
Govind Bhatt.
youngsters.
Okay, all right.
Perhaps there is not much of a gap between us in the age.
Ah,
So I was sitting there for my case, and then Justice Govind Bhatt observed, hey Mr. Hegde,
ah.
has your client engaged a barber or a lawyer? You are
Okay.
shaving his case. No, that was the kind of humor he had.
Okay.
That was what he was doing. But he used to, as I told you, encourage also. You remember writ appeals under Section 4,
Ah, yes, sir. Under the High Court Act.
High Court Act. The moment that was introduced,
Introduced from a single bench to a division bench. I
Division
think
bench and
you were
entry
in,
court,
yeah, you
yes.
were in practice. We had not yet
I was
come. Correct.
junior of my senior
Okay.
mentor, Datar.
Okay, sir.
So that was writ appeal number 3 of 74 or 73
Ah.
when that section came in. And then my senior stood up, and then Justice Govind Bhatt asked my senior, Datar, look here Mr. Datar, who has drafted this petition? Who has drafted this intra-court appeal? So my senior looked at me, ಏನ್ರಿ ನೀವು ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೀರಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹೆಸರು ಹೇಳ ಬೈದರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬೈಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಇರಿ
Okay.
and all that. Then my senior told the Chief Justice, my young junior has drafted this, my lord.
Okay.
If there are any mistakes, please stop.
Ah.
Where's your junior? I stood up. I said, my lord, excuse me if there is some mistake. I did what I thought the best thing.
Okay.
He held the writ appeal. I'm telling all the advocates here, this is how you must draft a writ appeal.
Okay.
See, what a great encouragement for a
Yes,
youngster.
yes.
I was hardly 2-3 years
In the
in
profession.
See, such judges were there. They used to even shout at us. They used to even encourage us. And we had a great process of learning at that time.
Yeah.
See, it's a process of everyday learning. So that is how we were trained. And we developed ourselves
So
into
that's nice.
what
So
we are
couple of
today.
things, sir, as you were telling about the qualities of judge. One of the one that you said that every judge should also have a human aspects, and also remember that the judge was at one point of time a young advocate, and that will go on. So what are the qualities that you feel, sir, are very essential in a judge, that should be there in a judge?
See, I would put at the top in the list honesty and integrity.
Okay.
That's the first quality one must have
As a judge.
as a judge. Number 2, I always told several of the present judges who are very much junior to me, I don't disclose the names, but they used to call me the previous day and said, Rao sir, have you any advice? Tomorrow we are going to
Get elevated.
take oath
Okay.
or swearing
Take oath, yeah,
ceremony
swearing,
and all
yes,
that.
yes.
If you have some advice, please tell us.
Yeah.
I used to always tell them, fear none, favor none.
Okay. Hmm.
Remember this as your motto. Fear none, favor none.
Yes.
Whoever is standing there, whether he's a junior, as a man or a woman, it matters very little to you. All that you are required to do is look into the papers and do that.
And do the job. Okay.
This is what exactly I told them. And I added a rider by saying, when youngsters appear, please encourage them. And most of them are thankful. Some of them remember even today, when our conversation starts outside, when we have functions, they always tell me, I still remember your
What advice you have given us.
Fear none, favor none, Mr. Rao. Thank you so much.
Okay. Sir, actually, in fact, I think you have the right to even rather make any comment or speak about this, because I think you're in age and in stature the senior most now among all the judges that we have, at least in Karnataka
Yes,
High Court.
yes.
You can say whether it's both in circuit benches and here.